This is the project we're going to do today. This is a Christmas ornament made using half of one of the plastic ornaments that was included in the Hero Arts November 2019 kit, as well as one of the sentiment stamps from the kit. I also used a rubber stamp from Stampscapes.com to create the scene. And so let's begin. I'm going to take half of one of the bulbs that was included in the Hero Arts November 2019 kit and just trace the circle on a piece of 110-pound Nina Solar White. Now I'll stamp this Stampscapes stamp on it. This is number 140E, which you can get from Stampscapes.com. And I am going to use my stamping platform. And I'll use some Memento Tuxedo Black to stamp the stamp into the circle that I've drawn onto the cardstock. And I'll use a Tombow water-based marker to color in the trees and the other greenery of this stamp. This is number 158, and then I'll restamp. And now I'll use a Tombow reddish colored marker to color in the cabin or house, and this is number 837, and then I'll restamp. And now I'll use a gray marker. This is number N45, again it's a Tombow, and I will color in the roof of the cabin and restamp. And now I'll use some Shuttle Art gel pens to add a little more color to the cabin. And if I add a little bit too much gel pen, then I'll use my craft knife to remove some of it. And here I'm going to use the fine tip of my Tombow 837 marker to try and add some color up above, and it got way too thick. And so I'm trying to dilute it out with a water pen, but it's not really working very well. And so I'll try to add some more colors with my gel pen and Tombow and dilute it out, and it's really making a mess. So I'm going to try and restamp it. And so now I'll trim it down. Okay, and I'll try and finish the blobs on the house later, but for now I'm going to ink on some sky, and I'm going to start with some Distress Ink Broken China and blend it on with a makeup brush. And after the Broken China, we'll go to Mermaid Lagoon, and we'll finish up with Blueprint Sketch. And then I'll go onto the ground and put in some Distressed Ink Peeled Paint. Okay, and now I'm going to add some Signo Uniball UM153 white gel pen to add some snow to the scene. And I'll also use this to add quite a bit of snow to the roof area to help hide the blotchy color that I put on there when I tried to use the fine tip of the Tombow marker. And so I'll just add it, and I'll also add it up to the trees to add some snow to the trees. And sometimes I'll add some multiple layers when the underlying color starts to show through. And now I'll use some yellow gel pens to try and add some color to the windows, which are pretty dark. And I'll use a Copic Sepia Multiliner to add some color to the trim. And a white gel pen to add some white to the trim around the windows. And I'll redraw my pencil line. Okay, now I want to have a little more snow, so I'm going to use some Dr. Phil Martin's Bleed Proof White. I've put a little bit in this separate lid here, and I've wet it down with some water. And I've got my paintbrush, picking it up on my paintbrush, and then I'm just going to do some splatters on here to get some snow. And now I'm going to use some sheer Shimmer Spritz sparkle to add a little bit of sparkle to it. I don't know how well you can see it on camera. Okay, and now I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers nested circle dies to cut out the scene, and this is the one that's about 2 3/4 inch in diameter. And I've also cut out another piece of white cardstock. Okay, I'm going to stamp There's No Place Like Home for the Holidays on the blank piece of paper here. And I'll stamp it with some VersaFine Onyx Black ink. And I'll use my tape runner to glue the sentiment circle onto the back of my scene circle. Unfortunately, I accidentally deleted the part of the video showing where I glued the scene onto the ornament half. But what I did was place some artificial snow, which was from a previous Hero Arts kit from a couple of years ago, along with some seed beads into the inside of the ornament half. I then carefully applied some clear E6000 glue to the very edge of the ornament half, and then I carefully placed the scene circle on top of the glued edge of the ornament, making sure the scene was properly positioned, and then I applied some pressure in order to glue the two halves together. It didn't take long for the glue to set, but it's recommended to let it cure for at least 24 hours. And next I'm taking some 1/4 inch glue dots to attach a ribbon to the very edge of the ornament half to try and hide that seam between the scene circle and the actual ornament itself. And now I'll use a darning needle to thread a piece of ribbon through the hanging hole so that I can make a hanger. And then I'll also take another piece of ribbon and tie a bow up at the top. And I'll use a little bit of the E6000 glue to actually hold that bow into place. Okay, and this is basically the ornament with a greeting on the back. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.